Today I want to talk about Upscale. Now, this is a great and completely free upscaler that can be run locally on your machine. I will show some examples, break down the software's features, help you add custom models, and even show how you can upscale video too. With all that, let's get started. From this site, you can go on their GitHub page and find answers to most of your questions in their Discussions tab. Also, an odd note, the example on the front page is not a result from Upscale. This was confirmed in the discussion page. Long story short, I guess it's for marketing. Not sure why they went that route, but there are actual comparisons in the GitHub page here. And these are good enough for a front page example to me. There is also this page that shows all the models with a pyramid to compare. These links are in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. Alright, back on the home page, if we scroll down a little, you will see that they are working on a cloud version of Upscale. It also will have some upgrades including face enhancement, 5 times faster than desktop version, more models to choose from, and even video upscaling built in. No word if any of these features are coming to the offline version. There is a beta sign up if you are interested. If we scroll down a bit more, we can get our download link, pick your respective operating system. I have Windows, so I will download that. It's around 300 megabytes. It's a simple install. Run the exe, pick the install directory, and install. And run the program. At the top, you can click here for a shortcut to the GitHub page. We have Batch Upscale, which allows multiple images to be run one after another. Here we select our image, or we can drag and drop one in. This is the model select. There are 6 to start with, but we can add more. The double upscale will give you a 16x image no matter the other settings. Here you can pick the output folder, and when ready, hit upscale. Once it's done, you will get this slider showing the original on the left of the screen and the upscaled version on the right. Let's go into settings. You have your wiki shortcut, also a donate button if you wish. This is the log file and a button to copy the logs. This is good for bug reporting and diagnosing problems if needed. Here you can change the color scheme of the UI in the theme pull down. You can also choose if you want PNG or JPG. PNG is a much larger file but retains more quality than JPG. You can toggle post-processing. I haven't found a reason to turn it off. I also tested images with and without and couldn't see a difference. Here is image scale from 1x to 4x. 1x will simply have the AI process the image without altering resolution. The default is 4x. Note that if you check double upscale on the main tab, it will always be 16x, no matter this setting. You use this slider to add image compression if you wish. Naturally, it will lower the quality of the image, but also the file size. You can toggle the save output folder to always save upscales to a specific folder. Otherwise, it defaults to the location of the image you are upgrading. Overwrite previous upscale will redo an upscale every time you run it. If left unchecked, it will simply load in the completed image you previously ran with the same model and settings. It can be useful if you run all the models on an image and want to go back through them and compare faster. GPU ID, this can be left blank, but if issues arise, you can find your GPU ID by checking the log. In the log, you can scroll down and eventually see something like this. My card is the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 Ti. You can see a number 0 at the very beginning. That is my GPU ID. So I can enter that into the text box here. If you are a Windows user, it can be helpful to put the app into performance mode. Fairly simple. For Windows 11, go to the search bar and type System, click System again. Then Display, scroll down, click Graphics, then click Browse, go to where Upscale is installed. The default install location will be the C drive, Program Files, Upscale. Then select the Upscale exe, then Add. Go down to Upscale in the program list. Click Options and select High Performance, then Save. That's all there is to it. This should help with the performance of Upscale. Back in the program, we are at the Add Custom Models section. Here you can add custom models created by others. The Upscale GitHub page has a collection of custom models from other users they have put together in a zip file. To install them, you can download the zip and extract it wherever you like. I will put it in the Upscale folder, but it can be put anywhere. Then back in Upscale, go to Add Custom Models and hit Select Folder. Find wherever you put that folder and select it. if done right, you should be able to go back to the main Upscale tab and see all the new models in the pull down. The last thing in the settings is Reset Upscale. If you run into an issue using this or start getting an error after a while, try using the Reset Upscale button and it will put everything back to default. Once you run Upscale, you can use this zoom setting up top, which can be a bit finicky. I haven't seen anyone complain about this, so maybe it's just annoying to me, but when using the zoom it sticks to the mouse, but setting back to 100% stops that. Alright, on to some comparisons. Here are some of my examples to show the difference between the base models. These all have their strengths and weaknesses, but it really feels like it's per image. There isn't a single best one for everything. I also added a Topaz Gigapixel example to compare. It's an expensive software, so it's good to match that up to a free one and see where it stands. Finding which one is best is going to come down to the image and personal preference. I lean towards Ultra Sharp and Ultramix for most pictures, but not all. And digital art is probably seen as the go-to for 2D images, but it isn't always the best choice. But again, it's per image and personal preference. We can also use this to upscale a video. I would only suggest this method for something 30 seconds to no more than a few minutes, otherwise it's not very efficient for what you get. On the plus side, it's free and it's done on your computer. I will use the free version of DaVinci Resolve for the other part of this. In order for this to work, we need to take a video and change it to a PNG sequence. Basically, every frame needs to be turned into an image for our upscale to run. Once DaVinci is started, double-click Untitled Project. Go down and click on Edit. Drag whatever video you want down to the timeline. You'll get a pop-up about adjusting settings to match video. Click Change. Then click on the Deliver tab. Here we'll set our file name. I leave an underscore at the end to separate the numbers from the file name. Then select the file location where all these images are going to be saved. Come down and select PNG in the format pull-down. We also need to know our resolution of the original video. If you are unsure, go back to your video file. Right-click and go to Properties, then go to the Detail tab. Here you can see the resolution and the frame rate. Now take that and change the resolution to the correct format. If it's a custom size, you can easily enter the numbers in yourself by using the custom setting in the pull-down. After that is all set up, we go to the File tab here and check this box. This will start the number sequence at 1. This affects how many number places we have. For a short clip with only about 120 frames to images, 4 is fine. But you can leave it at 8, it just makes the file name a little longer. After that, we should be ready. Click Add to Render Queue and then render all. If it's a 5-second clip like mine, it should be pretty fast. Once it's done, we can go to that new file and see all our images. Now back to Upscale. If you aren't sure which model you want to use, load the first image of your sequence, and you can test the models out till you get one you like. For this, I like the look of Real ESR Gen. Before we start the batch upscale, if you tested these models out, you are going to want to delete those extra files from your image sequence folder if that's where they were saved, and make sure nothing else is in this folder but those images. Then we can go back and select Batch Upscale. Select the folder with all your images, your model. The output folder can be the same, as it will create a new one inside it with all the upscaled images. Then hit Upscale. This is where errors may occur. If the batch does only so many images and stops, you might have to lower the amount of images done per batch. I had a random issue that was only solved with going to Settings and hitting the Reset Upscale button. Once it's finished and everything is good, click Open Upscale folder and see your images. We can right-click, go to Properties, then Details, and see our new resolution of 5120 by 2880. Now we are ready to reassemble our video. Reopen DaVinci if you closed it. Now we want to drag our original video back in for 2 reasons. First, it will switch the frame rate back to what we want. And second, if your video had audio, we want to take it from that and put it on our new video. Now we will go to the folder with our new image sequence. Select all the images and drag them above your original video. And we should have our upscaled video and the audio playing together. You can also compare the 2 videos on top of one another. First, select the top video, go over to the cropping menu and select it, and here you can move one of these sliders around and see the original video below. It's not the easiest to see here in DaVinci, but you can notice the difference in the trees and the branches. Now we are ready to output. Make sure cropping is reset by hitting this arrow. Go to Deliver tab. And same as before, type a name for the new file, select Output folder, then select MP4, or whichever video format you wish, and then the resolution. My file is larger than 4K resolution, but that's what I'm going to select for this. And with that, add to render queue. It will ask about the higher resolution which we want, so click Add, and then Render All. And then run our video, and there you go, a 4K upscaled video. Obviously the quality will not be on the level as paid program like Topaz, but for a free option it's not bad at all. The last thing is for those who have a low-end computer. The requirements to use Upscale is pretty low, but it does need a GPU that has Vulkan support. You can go to this site, link is in the description. Search in the filter box for your GPU. If it shows up, then it should be supported. This is an unofficial list created by users, so it's not set in stone, just a reference. If you do not have a GPU that supports Vulkan, there is a way in the wiki file that mentions a pretty simple method to have Upscale use your CPU instead. This can work, but generations are much slower. You want to go to your Upscale install directory. The default is C drive, program files, Upscale. I am going to make a new folder and call it backup. Then make a copy of these two files and add them to the backup folder. Go back to the main folder and copy the name of this DLL. Hit F2, select the full name, then hit Ctrl-C to copy. Now delete the Vulkan 1 DLL. Come up to the VK Swift Shader DLL, hit F2 to rename. Select all and Ctrl-V to paste. Now go to the backup folder, select VK Swift Shader, and make a copy with Ctrl-C and paste that back into the main Upscale folder. That is all there is to it. Open Upscale and see if that works. This is a workaround created by a user, so it may work for some and not others, but it is at least an option. I hope this was helpful and you were able to learn a little something about Upscale. If you have any question, feel free to leave them in the comments, and with that, I will see you in the next one.